As some of you have heard, Donald Trump gave out fake news awards, and he called out certain news stations. And of course, it's going to be what you expect, CNN and others, you know. And I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do agree with some of his policies, such as immigration. I don't believe in building a border wall, but to each their own. Now, if you watch the video, it's actually quite hilarious. And I do suggest you watch the video if you can find it, because there's another video. It's actually quite good. And here's the thing: a lot of people, some of you guys probably know, but the media has been criticized for a very long time, more than 100 years. You know, newspapers and all these, because they're biased. They just sometimes right now they're more biased. Right now they're engaging in demagoguery, us versus them. You know, people, they agree with a particular president or a policy or whatever, or president, their ideology, then they're going to be on their side no matter what they do. You know, they'll ignore the bad stuff they do and cover the good stuff. If, however, they're against them, they do the opposite. You'll notice that with CNN, Fox, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all like that. So, are they fake news? Of course, there are fake news sites that just simply out and out lie to their viewers. And if you read that book, Demagoguery and Democracy, that I reviewed yesterday, and you can find it in my Moron Reviews playlist, it's only $2 on Amazon. You can probably find it in your bookstore. You probably could read that in one sitting. I don't suggest you do that. Please buy it. It's a good book to own. But anyways, you'll learn what demagoguery is. You need to learn that. That's something you need to really fully understand. Because then you understand what the media is doing. Now, I'm not saying Trump is being honest by calling all these people fake news. A lot of times he calls them fake news simply because they're calling him out on his BS. And that seems to be mostly what he's doing. When they call him out or make a point that, hey, maybe, this idea that you're having, this policy is not the best. And he just attacks them like a spoiled child, you could say. Which is one of my biggest problems with him. They do now. The media is not really looking out for you. They just want more views. That's all they really care about, is views and making that money. The media is not. It's not that they're untrustworthy, but they're going to exaggerate claims. They will sometimes falsify some of the things. It's not difficult to figure this stuff out. It's just you got to learn to do the research and look things up on your own, and just don't believe everything they say. And then you'll be able to see right through their nonsense and their lies. Now, I don't believe that the media is as evil and bad and corrupt and as fake as Trump makes them out to be. I don't think they're even half as bad as he makes them out to be. But they're obviously exaggerating a lot of their claims, and there's so many times CNN and all these others have actually been caught out lying. Fox News, of course, claims that they're an entertainment channel now, so they don't have to get in trouble for it. But other stations have actually been caught lying. And don't forget, they told us that Hillary Clinton had 97% chance of winning. That Donald Trump had 0% chance. And 3% or no chance, that what a lot of them said. And then, you had these famous comedians that everyone loves and adores that are saying the same thing, these late night talk show comedians. Some of them I find hilarious. So I'm not going to bash them, And some of them have their own little show now, like Team Coco, Colin O'Brien, Team Coco. Watch that. It's pretty good. But all in all, you just got to be careful of the media that you watch. Don't believe everything they tell you. Okay, remember that the information you're getting is not really the full truth. It's not everything about the issue. You're going to have to look it up on your own. And there are so many things happening that the media ignores. Actually, a lot. Especially what happens in other countries. But, and there's a lot of things they're saying about Trump. You look it up and they're lies. I mean, they've been lying about Trump or exaggerating how bad he is. I mean, he's not good, but he's not as bad as the media makes up. They do seem to make things up or exaggerate at the very least. It would be great if we had honest media and that they actually learn ethics and learn how to be more credible and less biased, learn how to be unbiased. Okay, you're a liberal or a conservative, Republican or a Democrat, it shouldn't matter. You should be able to you know, look at an issue with good judgment. You should be able, everybody should be able to take an issue and be able to argue both sides of it. If you can do that, chances are you'll win an argument with anybody. That's what Ben Shapiro learned to do. And that's what I learned to do when I took advanced English when I was in high school. You had to learn to argue both sides of an issue. After a while, it gets kind of difficult to lose because you know what the other side's already going to say. And in science, you learn because like I've said before, I have a degree in molecular biology and biochemistry, and I've done research. And one of the things you learn when you're doing research is you have to anticipate the questions that other people are going to ask. So you research what will other people say against what I'm, trying to present, which is what falsifiability is. Part of falsifiability. What would make this thing not work? The media needs to learn how to do similar type of things. Learn what people actually believe that disagree with them. Because a lot of times, you will notice if you actually do it, that people you disagree with, what you think they believe, is nowhere near what they actually believe. You're over-exaggerating. That's another thing about demagoguery. It's us versus them. We make them out to be evil and bad and all this stuff. And the media is good at that. That's what they're trying to do, is separate us. And they're not doing it because they're trying to make certain other people, powerful and all that stuff. They're doing it because if we fight, they get more views. If we're more afraid, they make more money because you're watching them constantly. They can keep you afraid, keep you fighting and arguing, and they can watch the money roll in. So, that's why it is kind of funny when you watch him give his fake news awards. And, and you consider the fact that, now this is the thing, okay, one thing I've noticed, when people talk about how great they are, how smart they are, and things like that, they usually are nowhere near what they think. They usually actually are very far from it, very far to the bottom. I've noticed that when I used to teach high school and everything, you get students, they think they're so smart. And then when you actually ask them about the issues or topics they are bringing up, they know nothing. You see that, on talk radio and other stuff, people say, well, I have an IQ of 170, 190, 140. I have a PhD, a bachelor's degree, and all this stuff. Donald Trump, what does he always tell you? I have the best words. I have this and that. He talks about himself like he's so great. He can't, and I've never known a president, many politicians, even they're already different, that can even admit to making a mistake. And remember, Obama did create the office of the president-elect. So don't tell me he wasn't full of himself. But we're not talking about Obama. We're talking about Donald Trump here. With his fake news. Now, it does not help him. It's not helping him at all, constantly attacking CNN and all the rest of the media. He makes himself look like a fool. Because as Malcolm X once said, the media, and it's not his exact quote, but the media can make a good man look like the devil and make a bad man look like a saint. And the media does that real well. They destroy people for no reason. They've done it a lot of times. And they build people up that are just trash. Okay? So yeah, you could argue that the media is sometimes fake or at least hyperbolic, exaggeration. They exaggerate certain of their claims. They don't really want to give you any, anything to back up their claims. Like, for example, listen to these CDs by Shelton Smith, Evolution versus Creationism. And he makes all these bold claims, about creationism, how great creationism is, and none of the stuff he backs up. He mentions Dr. Gish and Russell Doolittle, them having their little discussion, and he mentions how Russell Doolittle, who's the evolutionist, admitted defeat and all this stuff. He names the newspaper now, but he does not quote the entire paper, which is, again, what people do when they're biased. They won't tell you the whole thing. They themselves will only read what agrees with them. Adolf Hitler was famous for that. He even mentions that in Mein Kampf. That's what he believed you should do. But the thing is, if you read that paper, and if you watch the CD, you'll get the name of the newspaper. You simply type in the name of that newspaper, which I can't remember the name of it. So I think it's U.S. Today or the Washington Post or something like that. But anyways, you name that newspaper, Dwayne Gish, Russell Doolittle. You read the whole thing. You'll see that they mention how the whole thing was set up against Russell Doolittle. It was set so Dwayne Gish would win, and he's now known for something called the Gish Gallop, where you say a bunch of falsehoods rapidly in rapid succession, so your opponent has no choice but to address some of them, so they can't get to their own issue. But seriously, be very careful about this fake news stuff. Not everything that the media is saying is fake news. That's just an exaggeration. You can't make the media is not some evil entity out to get you. But but they also just like anything should not be fully trusted. And your celebrities, I hate to break this to some people, few of you, just very few probably would be surprised with what I'm about to say. Majority of them are not any smarter. 99.9% of those celebrities are not any smarter than you or me. Bye. Oh yeah, again, I forgot, I should have said this earlier. Please subscribe and watch all of my videos, my other videos. Thanks.